Hi, AT from CNC at Home. While the machine is zeroing itself, I'd like to talk about this particular project. The ornament that I made last time just didn't work out the way that I had hoped due to programming error, essentially on my part. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I thought that would look better and it would give the piece a little bit more meat as well. So I increased the size of this project by 50%. So instead of being 100 millimeter high, it's 150 millimeters high. So what I'm going to do is do this from the center of the project instead of the lower right corner, the lower left corner, like I normally do. Going from the center, both the cutting out of the ornament and then the actual cutting of the perimeter are going to match up this time. At least that's the idea. Once the tool is centered in the workpiece, I need to get my piece of plywood clamped down. So I'm going to use a variety of clamps to get this clamped on the edges to hold everything in place. I ended up using a couple different kinds of clamps and basically on all four corners, and that seemed to hold the piece down fairly well. The next step will be to change the tool. This is the straight cut bit that I used at to cut out the ornament last time where it failed. So I'm going to get this changed back to the V bit for cutting out the inside of the ornament. It's just a simple matter of tightening up the collet nut, and that'll hold this in place. Now I need to set my zero. To do that, I'm going to use my touchpad. So I get it clipped on, the alligator clipped on, and then I'll lower it down so it's closer, and then I have a macro that will run the appropriate code to move the tool down until it connects with the touchpad. Then it will back off of that just several millimeters, and the zero will be set to the top of our working surface. Let's get cutting. When I brought this code up in the Universal Sending program, something didn't look quite right about it. And as it was cutting, I realized what the problem was. Within F-Engrave, when I generated the G code, I had forgotten to change the tool from a 90-degree V-bit to this 20-degree V-bit. So back in F-Engrave, I changed the tool type to the 20-degree, regenerated the G code, and I'll start that cut here now. This last bit of internal cutting is the hole where it can connect to a string, ribbon, or a hook, so it can be hung on a tree or on the wall. Now it's time to change out the tool from the V-bit to the straight cut bit. So we'll just loosen up the collet nut and get that old tool pulled out. Then we'll put the straight cut bit in and get the collet nut tightened back down. We'll need to reset our 0 with the new tool, as it's going to be a slightly different length from the other tool. So once this is tightened in, we'll just get the touchpad back out and reset our 0. Once again, we'll just run the macro that moves the tool down, sets the 0, and then retracts. After a little bit of sanding and some cleanup, this turned out very nice. Let's get close up here, you can see. Here's the back side. The next step will be to put a little paint on it. See how that looks. Oops.
Hi, I'm AT from CNC at Home. If you like our content, help support our channel by clicking on subscribe and liking our videos. Thank you for watching this video. Have fun with your CNC at Home projects.